Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello. Thank you so much for tuning in, and happy Friday to everybody. We've got folks checking in from all corners of the globe, which is my favorite part about these broadcasts. We've got John is in Altadena, California, where I bet it's very sunny and beautiful. I look out the window right now at Ohio, and it's just gray and rainy. We've got John in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Dina is in Oklahoma City. We've got Holly as well, who said it's raining, but time for coffee and art, which sounds great to me. Joyce is checking in from New Mexico. And let's see, we've got Janice as well from Texas, and Corinne in Pasadena, California, which is awesome. So great to see all of you. And let's just get right into it. I've got some art to share with you. And we've seen some really awesome stuff in the schoolyard this week. And this is always the highlight of my week, is getting to show some of that off. We've got Robert checking in too, which is great. Good to see you, Robert. Good to see your name at least. So I want to start this off. This drawing, actually a student named Lily did about drawing on her iPad, so this was very meta. We also have Tina checking in, which is great. But I loved Lily's drawing here because it almost gave me a headache to look at. But doing a drawing of a drawing of a drawing of a drawing and so on. So Lily, thank you for sharing that. I also wanted to share this piece of art from Becky, who has been taking a lino cutting workshop. So one of my favorite things about the schoolyard is when you guys experiment with new materials and new art forms. And I love printmaking, and it's one of my favorite art forms. So whenever I see that bubbling up in the schoolyard, I get really excited. So Becky, thank you for sharing your early process with us on lino cutting. I think that's so fun. Looks like we've got Pegrit checking in from Southwest Florida. Excellent. Some other art I wanted to share. Nora actually did some really cool artwork with using ink transfers and stamps. And I just love the texture that she was able to get on this and combining the ink with stamping. I think that's really beautiful. So Nora, thank you for sharing that with us. Another drawing, Chris did a study of eyes on her pup, and I love this drawing because these eyes reminded me of one of my dog's eyes, and I thought that this was so sweet, and I loved being able to kind of zero in on a feature and focus on one part of an animal and do it a few times for practice, and I loved how Chris handled this. So Chris, thank you for sharing those lovely little peepers from your canine friend. And some students have been sharing some really cool drawings that they've done on location at meetups. So we love when you guys go to meetups, whether it's for Urban Sketchers or Sketchbook Skool friends, any drawing meetups. We love seeing what you guys do on location. And I just wanted to share this page that Ginger created that I just loved so much because she mixed different types of ink, different styles and urban sketching on one page, and she features different elements of buildings that are kind of floating around, but also some different scenes from her perspective. And I just love the way that this page turned out, and it really made me think about drawing on location and trying to figure out how to break up a page and how to show a lot of a scene in little snippets instead of having to tackle the whole thing as it is in front of you, but maybe picking and choosing. So Ginger, I love that. Thanks for sharing it. And another student that did some drawing on location, JL, did this lovely sketch in Paris with Urban Sketchers Paris on an outing that she went on. And I love this drawing because I know it's pretty typical to see drawings of the Eiffel Tower as the star, as the main focus, but I love that JL here was, focusing on a different vantage point. And the focus isn't really the Eiffel Tower here. It's in the drawing, but it doesn't take front and center. So I really liked that. And yeah, John says Ginger is the master of composition, and I completely agree. If we were to revisit this image of Ginger's, I just love how she laid out this page. It's true. She's got some really cool border elements and then using text for some of her notes. And John, you are correct. Ginger is a master. We could all learn a lot from her. And another student who is actually getting ready for fountain pens and getting excited about our fountain pen workshop, Krista did this little sketch of her fountain pen collection. And I see a few familiar tools of the trade there in that drawing. And I love seeing this, and I think fountain pens are something that I use a lot, but I don't feel like I master them quite right. I guess I can't say quite right, but I feel like I don't totally have a handle on them. So Krista, along with the rest of us here at Sketchbook Skool, are getting ready to, getting excited to take a deep dive into fountain pens. And I'm really excited, and as I struggle with refilling one of my Lamy converters and having it kind of skip and clog up, I'm excited to get to know these Lamy fountain pens a little bit better. And I also want to mention a few meetups that are going on. We've got a lot going on this weekend, actually. A lot of you are really active this weekend with some stuff happening. So we've got the Urban Sketchers Tacoma in Seattle. I think Kate shared this meetup in the Facebook group, in the schoolyard, and that's happening at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Another one happening Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, which actually there's a time change this weekend, but that's Saturday night, I believe. So we're going to ignore that, not think about it. Makes me sad, losing daylight. But anyway, John and the Crazines are going to meet up on the 7th at 10 a.m. And then we've also got our NorCal Sketchbook Buddies meeting up in Dixon. And you can find all the details for these meetups in the schoolyard, addresses, all that jazz. Then we've got one more happening on the 13th. Kate also shared Urban Sketchers Seattle is going to do an outing on the 13th at 10 a.m. at a really cool train station. So that sounded like a lot of fun. Something I would love to join in for if I could just hop on over to Seattle. But those are the meetups that are happening in the next week. And now I would love for us to have a little moment to draw. I haven't drawn anything yet today, so I think it's time. And today I've decided I'm going to draw something. You can draw whatever you want, but I'm going to set a timer, and I'm going to draw something that was given to me by someone else. So this was a gift, but you could pick an object at your desk or at your kitchen counter that someone gave to you. It could be a little knick-knack, or it could be a snack, a cookie that someone baked you. Hey, Jesus is checking in. That's great. Ben is also checking in. You guys are just in time to draw. So get out your pens. I'm going to use a fountain pen because it's all the rage right now, and my sketchbook. I'm using the Stillman & Byrne Beta series, really thick paper, and I love it. So I'm going to draw an object that was given to me by a friend, or a family member. If you can pick up something that's close to you, that was given to you by someone else. So not something that you bought for yourself or picked up for yourself or created yourself, but something that someone else gave to you. And that can have as much or as little meaning as you want. I'm going to do this silly, can you see this, wooden duck. I don't know the creator of this or where it came from, but my friend gave it to me because our moms were best friends growing up. It was a family friend, and her mom actually passed away probably 10 years ago. And when she was in a nursing home and having some health issues, my mom used to visit her, and they would watch the ducks out the window and create all these stories about them. And it was kind of like, for them, it was like watching a soap opera, but it was creating their own soap opera based on the duck community at this nursing home that my friend's mom was staying at. So my best friend, gifted me this duck kind of as a way to honor the sweet friendship that our moms had, and also just a reminder to be silly and laugh. Sometimes things can get pretty hard, pretty bleak. Even if you're watching the news today, for instance, it's tough out there sometimes. So pick up an object, maybe something that gives you a happy feeling. Doesn't have to, but I'm going to do this duck, this wooden duck statue. So I'm going to prop this up right here. And, Ben's asking, I'm using the Stillman & Byrne Beta series. So it's like the 5.5 by 8.5 inch. And I just love, the paper's really thick and bright white, and it holds watercolor, doesn't buckle. My favorite. So that's what I'm using. You can get them on Amazon. I think it was like $15 US or something. So not that expensive. So I'm going to get to drawing. I want you to grab something that's close by, maybe that someone gave you. That's the prompt I'm using for myself today. And I'm going to set the timer for 3 minutes. So this is just a fast and furious. It's not the half-hour draw with me that Danny sets up, but it's a nice little creative break in the day that I like to take on Fridays with all of you. So I'm going to hit start, and we're going. I'm going to set this over here. and I'm going to get to drawing this duck. So hopefully you can join me in whatever you're drawing. Thank you, Karen. That's so sweet. Gail, we are just going to start drawing here for a few minutes. We're drawing an object that someone has given you. So you can draw anything that you have, kind of access to. But the prompt that I'm using for myself is something that was given to you by someone else. So whether it's a gift or, something more utilitarian, that's cool too. But I am drawing something that was given to me by a dear friend, something that I keep in my house that makes me really happy to look at, and also is a good little conversation piece because it's kind of silly looking. So I am drawing this giant wooden duck statue. That's what I'm focusing on today. But hopefully you've got something handy wherever you're seated right now. And honestly, if you don't have something that was given to you by someone else, draw your cup of coffee or draw whatever you're snacking on right now. I'm not picky, and honestly, it's just a moment to be creative and take a break from your day. So make it whatever you want. It's totally up to you. And yeah, I'm just gonna go with this. This little statue. And for any of you that are just popping on right now, we are just doing a little bit of drawing together. So pick up something that's at your desk or accessible, and do a quick little drawing with us. I think it's a really fun thing to do together, even though we're obviously all over the globe right now. I think it's really fun to just kind of share time to make something creative, even if it's only for 3 minutes. I often feel so much better after I draw, no matter how short it is. And then I can, get back to my work at Sketchbook Skool and feel kind of refreshed. And I hope that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, if you're taking a lunch break or you're sitting at your desk or who knows what, I would hope that this can be kind of a refreshing little creative break for you too, because that's what I use it for. And I think it's really handy. So yeah, I hope that it can do the same for you. And as always, we love seeing what you guys do in the schoolyard. So definitely share your art if you are doing this with us or if you're just doing your own thing. We love seeing what you guys come up with. So you can use the student bulletin topic in the schoolyard to share these if you want. You can also just share them on social media and tag Sketchbook Skool. Oh, that was the timer, which always goes so fast. I'm breaking a rule and I'm just going to finish a little hatching here, but this is my duck. I didn't get very far, but it was a 3-minute drawing, and maybe I'll go in later and play with some of the wood grain. I just want to show you guys the wood grain on this duck is really fun, and it's pretty hefty. It's pretty solid. I don't know what kind of wood it is, but it's a beautiful little object. So I hope that you were able to get some lines down on your page. I'm not sure what object you chose for today, but I hope that you got to have a little drawing moment with us and are able to kick off a creative weekend. I hope that you all have exciting plans for the weekend, whether it's to stay home and work on some creative projects or get out and draw on location. But thank you so much for tuning in. I love seeing all of you each week, and it's been really fun, and I will see you right back here next week at the same time. And have an awesome weekend, guys. Thank you.